For the last 5 years, Cornelius Korir has been employed at his metalworks outlet based in Nairobi's Utawala estate. For his sweat, the 41-year-old is paid on a weekly basis. He says on a good day, he can make just about 800 shillings, but is quick to caution that such days are generally few and far in between.
It's not enough. It's not enough for my budget. It's enough only to feed my family.
A family of 6, including his wife and 4 children, whose basic needs include food, rent, school fees, and healthcare, needs he is hard-pressed to satisfactorily meet at the moment, let alone worry himself too much about what happens when he's no longer able to work. The same situation 31-year-old Jackson Njeru, a welder at a neighboring establishment, finds himself in. Like Korir, Njeru's earnings are irregularly spaced and hardly enough to cater for the needs of his wife and 1 child. He, however, has an idea about how he intends to secure his future, availability of funds permitting.
Hiyo pesa iko tuseme iko chini kama mwajiliwa. So maybe kama unataka in future kutengeneza maisha yako, maybe ukipata unajifinya tu. Nasema kama hii wiki nimepata ngiri zangu 5, unazichukua unajinyima. Unaenda unanunua hata kama ni kang'ombe uchago. Unakaeka basi hiyo ndio unalilai nayo kama investment sasa.
Both Korir and Njeru derive their livelihoods from Kenya's rapidly expanding informal sector, a segment of the economy whose definition divides opinion and varies from country to country. However, informal sector workers are generally deemed to be those that are self-employed, oftentimes generating income at irregular, sometimes unpredictable intervals, working in small, often unregistered businesses or the household sector, sometimes on part-time basis in industries such as agriculture, construction, and services. Over the years, Kenya's informal sector has been steadily rising at the expense of the formal sector as poor or slow economic growth meant that fewer and fewer formal employment and income-generating opportunities were being created. In 1993, the 2 sectors employed about 1.8 million persons each. But since then, the informal segment of the economy has rapidly outpaced the formal sector to account for an estimated 16 million jobs in 2021 as opposed to just about 3 million in the formal sector, which continues to shed thousands of jobs as economic performance further deteriorates.
There were retrenchment exercises that were carried by the government. So people had to move to businesses to start looking for ways to survive.
Because of rising levels of poverty and urbanization, among other factors, the level of care provided to senior citizens is today severely impeded, resulting in millions of people being forced to work well into their golden and sunset years just to put food on the table.
The purpose of pension is to generate you a consistent income after you retire. So it's true, people are supporting the elderly less and less in the society, and in the future they're going to support them lesser.
But even with this imminent total collapse of traditional social security safety nets, the Retirement Benefits Authority, which regulates the pensions industry in Kenya, estimates that upwards of 4 out of every 5 Kenyans working in the informal sector are not covered by any pension scheme. Factors contributing to this low penetration rate include the requirement by some pension schemes for members to make regular contributions, which poses a challenge to millions of informal sector workers whose income is anything but regular, the relatively high minimum deposits required by some schemes, lack of flexible terms, inconvenient operational setup, the practice of locking one's savings until the contributor attains the retirement age, and a general mistrust of pension schemes. Others are reluctant to save for retirement through established pension schemes because they perceive alternative investments such as buying property or livestock to be more secure and offering higher returns.
Because investing in livestock and property, it's not bad or any other thing. It's a good thing, but you see there's a risk attached. We have schemes that have come up. For example, the Zimele pension schemes that have come up, and they're tailored to meet the requirements or the needs of the people in the informal sector, where you can contribute amounts as low as 200 shillings, even 100 shillings to a pension scheme. Then the frequency is also not fixed. You can contribute as much as you can, depending on when you have the funds. You can contribute on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. And the way it's tailored, there is no risk of the pension in arrears.
One of the key benefits enjoyed by those saving for retirement through pension schemes, as opposed to other avenues, is generally higher returns due to compounded interest, which basically implies the earlier in your working life you start saving, the more your savings will grow. To illustrate the cumulative benefit accruing to contributors when compound interest is applied on their savings, let's take 3 individuals, all aged 25. One invests 1,000 shillings every month for the next 30 years, that is, until they are 55 years of age. The second waits until age 35 and then invests 2,000 shillings every month for the next 20 years. The third individual saves 1,000 shillings every month for the first 10 years, 2,000 shillings on a monthly basis for the next 10, and then 3,000 shillings every month for the last 10 years. Now, assuming a 9% average annualized rate of return, the first one ends up with 1.7 million shillings, the second one accumulates 1.3 million shillings, while the last one would have saved 2.5 million shillings by the time they clock 55 years. This clearly shows that due to compounding interest, it is advisable to start as early as possible, and sometimes you are better off starting with a small amount now rather than more later. At Zimele Asset Management Company, we have a rich menu of personal pension plans that will accord you a ticket to a comfortable life in retirement, including the Zimele Guaranteed Personal Pension Plan, the Zimele Income Drawdown Plan, and the Zimele Personal Pension Plan.
The Zimele Personal Pension Plan, we advise people who are young to invest in it, people who have 10 years or more towards retirement during their working time to invest, or the time that they have energy to work, if in the informal sector, to invest in it, and chances are you'll reap higher returns in the long term. The Zimele Guaranteed Personal Pension Plan, here when you invest you earn an interest like most pension schemes do, and this one you encourage people who have a lower risk appetite to invest in this pension scheme, and for people who are approaching retirement. It's an individual personal pension scheme regulated by the Retirement Benefits Authority, so you can contribute into that scheme as and when you have the funds to contribute. It's that flexible, and that's why the way it's structured, or the people who tailored the scheme, they were really looking at the people in the informal sector, the mamambogas, the juakali artisans, people who are in the sophisticated informal sector, like the tech gurus that we have, people who maybe work on jobs, maybe like consultants, because there are those consultants whose income is not like somebody working in a company and salaried.
Watu wengine naweza sema ni vizuri pia jiunge na deduction ya nini ya pension ili maisha yao ya baadaye iwe mzuri. Unajua ukiacha kazi tuseme mfano kama saa hii na niende nyumbani kama sina kitu utaona nitaathirika, lakini nilipoingia mahali hapa mdosi wangu akaniintroduce kwa Zimele. Kwa hivyo hapa nilianza ku deduction 2019.
And as the old proverb goes, the best time to plant a tree may have been 20 years ago, but in case you did not, the second best time is now. So, start small right away and step up your savings in tandem with any increases in the level of your income going forward, so you can enjoy the benefits of compounded interest and a peaceful, comfortable retirement thereafter.